The Soviet Union itself is no more.
The United States military has begun strikes.
Light them all up.
Считаю, что для современного мира однополярная модель не только неприемлема, но и вообще невозможна.
Народные республики Донбасса обратились к России с просьбой о помощи. Мною принято решение о проведении специальной военной операции.
The Russian military is taking chips from dishwashers and refrigerators to fix their military hardware. Russia's industry is in tatters.
Putin is now isolated from the world more than he has ever been.
Welcome back.
Welcome. We're here.
We're here.
We're not queer. But ready to rumble. Well.
when we need to be, yes. Oh, where'd you get that?
You like it, don't you?
I do.
I'm gonna get you one.
Okay. Show the viewers. Did you get that at the Hezbollah gift shop?
Absolutely. You know it.
They do have a gift shop, which is hilarious to me.
I drink my chai baba.
Chai baba.
Absolutely.
Well,
shout out to all the people in South Lebanon resisting Zionist aggression.
Chris went out tonight, if you guys can't tell.
What? I didn't go at all. I stayed home like a good boy.
Okay. Anyway, what's going on with you? Very, very low energy show for you guys today. Not a lot of news. Russia's in the air right now, so we'll see. Maybe they'll light it up tonight.
It's not low energy. It's the sense that we're regrouping. there's a lot of forces that are like coming together and trying to figure out like the next volley. You know, like I'm ready for another couple videos like this, you know, and like all the missiles hitting, but we're waiting. We're gonna see what's gonna happen. I don't know.
Yeah, we have Trump is over in China, which is interesting. We want to talk about that trip. China. Yeah, went down today with about 100 CEOs in tow,
including
Tim Apple
and Elon Musk too.
Yeah, Elon Musk. Tim Apple was a big one.
Yep.
You
know who was in Ukraine that we're going to talk about?
No.
Palantir CEO.
Which one? Cart?
Yes. Yeah.
I didn't know that. This is how little I'm paying attention to things.
Yes, he was there.
Things are like over in like the social media sphere, things are very uninspiring. Is a good way to put it. It's like the same conversations we've been having for the last 3 years during the genocide. We're still having them. People are arguing over like local elections in like districts in Florida. It's like the most asinine shit. And it's like, this is my movement. No, this is my movement. It's just not good in terms of
Groundhog Day.
It is like Groundhog Day. There's no like moving forward. I've been like very black-pilled about like just America and Americans. And I'm like, oh,
well, you're more than welcome here.
Yeah, there's that. Yeah, social media is a swamp. US politics is so ass. And it really is. We should have actually brought Nick on today.
He can come on. Why not? Send him a link.
All right, I'll send him a link. But
hey, come on.
US politics is so ass. I don't even know like what they're up to lately. I haven't even paid attention at all this week to know what they're doing.
It's a disaster. It's a disaster. I mean, look, can I ask you a question? Like, I know we talk about it all the time, but we're getting closer. Week by week, we're getting closer. Midterm elections, what are you thinking?
I still don't know. I mean, like, we have some high visibility midterms that people are paying attention to.
Like Massey, right?
I don't know that Massey will be that big of a deal because it's kind of like he's gonna win. More so there's the Randy Fine, Dan
Bilzerian.
Yeah, there's the Randy Fine Dan Bilzerian race, which is causing a big kerfuffle, but these are just primaries.
Right.
I don't really know what to make of it all. I'm such a elections aren't going to help us type person that I don't care. Also, why am I going to get involved with Florida's like second district representative election? Like, it's very weird. It's like, kind of like arguing over a twig when the tree's about to fall on you. It's very bizarre. Or like shooting the piranha when the gator's coming for the boat. It's very weird. I mean, I understand like the optics of getting Randy Fine out of office and all of that, but I feel like people have kind of lost sight of the bigger picture. And
for sure.
And I think that was part of the idea, was to try to get, because people were starting to coalesce around just a us versus them in terms of like Zionism or whatever force they wanted to call it, which was hindering America. There was some coalescing around that happening. And then like typical Kalergi plan, like, you know, they're all just start splitting off into these little factions, especially after the death of Charlie Kirk. And now they're arguing over like the whole movement. I hate even calling it that because the word movement insinuates that it's like going somewhere. Like,
or that has like a plan, that there's some sort of
the whole movement is now focused on and split over and fighting over a district primary in Florida.
Oh, come on.
While Israel, I mean, to put it in perspective, while Israel is committing a Holocaust in southern Lebanon.
No, it's actually it's worse than Nakba in the sense of
yes, and it's just like I feel like that was part of the idea. What not that I'm not saying that like Dan Bilzerian's an op. I'm just saying that this situation kind of plays into their hands. I don't at all think that Dan Bilzerian is an op. But I do like Dan. I didn't like him. I've known of Dan. I should say I know him. I've known of Dan since the Instagram days. And obviously as a woman, right, it's not going to be a big turn on for me. I was like,
TM trademark.
Yeah. So I didn't like him, but then I started when I heard about him seriously, taking this seriously and wanting to run for office. I said, I'll give him a shot and listen to what he's saying. And I did listen to him on Piers Morgan, and I listened to him on TNZ, and I thought he spoke really well. And I thought that he was very good at like responding on the spot and continuing to sound authentic. I don't know. I kind of liked him after watching him on those shows. But I'm not getting involved. Do I want him to beat Randy Fine? Of course.
Absolutely. Who doesn't?
Right. But it's not my district.
That's true. It's not our district. But if you want Randy Fine to win, you are, I don't know,
right.
Shaitan. You're in the army of Shaitan.
I don't think that Dan did convert to Islam. He's a Orthodox Christian. He never did convert.
Armenian, right? Armenian Apostolic.
Oh, that's another big controversy, right? That he came out recently that he's 12% Jewish. I said, well, if he was Armenian without any Jewish, I would have been more suspicious. But no, I'm just kidding. But no, that was like a big controversy. And I'm like, are we really doing like one drop rule? Like, are we really like resorted to this now? Like we're asking political candidates for their DNA tests and stuff. It's just really like off the wall shit. Like,
You can have mine. You can have mine.
He does swear a lot. You're right. There's there is that. I mean, but you know, I don't know how to, because you either have to be like, oh, we have to be better than them. We have to put up candidates that are like morally better than them. Or there's what's the difference if we put up a guy with a very checkered past in comparison to the ones that are already in office? I mean, really, there's not a lot. The positive thing you get with Dan is that you already know all of it and that he won't deny any of it. So I mean, you have that. So it's not like you're gonna like catch him in this big scandal down the road and some like mistress is gonna light herself on fire. So there's that.
Hopefully not.
Hello, greetings from Argentina. Hello. Our one kick listener.
Hola.
We have to get up. We are supposed to do an Argentina show. Hola, como?
What's going on with Planindinha? Like, is it moving forward?
This is woo stuff. I haven't been getting involved with I don't even know how to say it. Hantavirus.
Yeah.
Whatever it is.
Virus, yeah.
But there is a faction of people on Twitter that are like piecing together every place that hantavirus has sort of sprung up. And it's been in places that are very Israeli. Like there was cases in Patagonia. There were cases in other, like that's just
in Cyprus.
Yep.
In Greece.
Mm-hmm. So people were doing that a little bit of that hentai virus. Stop it.
Hentai virus.
But
better.
People were theorizing to that. So maybe we'll look into it from that aspect. But things are not not good in Argentina, but they're really not good anywhere, are they?
No, but is it true? Like I keep seeing that Argentina is like this miracle story of economic growth and development. I don't believe that at all, and I haven't seen the statistics to prove that.
I think it is on paper.
No, on paper, yes. In terms of like whatever the debt or yeah, of course. When you cut half the government, things look good on paper for a couple of years. You know,
but they're eating donkeys. So things aren't good. I mean, there was a new special like a week or two ago teaching them how to eat donkeys.
Teaching them how to eat them?
Yeah, teaching them how to cook them, like giving them recipes. So
no lamb shashlik and beef shashlik over there.
no shashlik.
It's donkey shashlik for them.
They were the lady ate like a bite. It was like kind of like a taco, but it wasn't. And she ate like a bite, and you could just see that she was like,
they're literally eating ass.
Clip it. Where's the marker? There it is. They're literally eating ass. Okay.
They are. I'm not doing anything.
Yeah,
crazy.
Argentina is full of cattle, but they're sending them to us. We get all of their diseased, antibiotic-ridden cattle. And we're in a beef shortage here too.
Yeah.
So there's that. Anyway, what's going on in Russia?
Well, Russia, of course, things are moving. They're moving slowly, but they're moving, Listen, Russia, okay, everybody was kind of doom and gloom. They were like, oh, this Victory Day parade didn't feature any weapons, any tanks, any, where are the ICBMs? I said, look, last year was the really big one. This year, they kind of shortened it down. And also, I was told directly from the source, you need about 10,000 soldiers to move all of that equipment to the parade and back. And they just didn't want to give that kind of level of, involvement at this point. They got a lot of stuff going on. Special military operation is deepening. So they were like, okay, well, we're just going to have, thousands of soldiers, but we're not going to do the equipment. So people were kind of like, oh, is it the end? It's the end. There's nothing else. That's it. It's the end of the special. And then everyone was reading into like the tea leaves. They were like, Putin said, we're close to the end. What does that mean? And then Peskov had to respond. And he's like, yeah, we've been close to the end since the beginning. If he wants it. So people are like, what does that mean?
Why do they just speak in riddles, these freaking Russians? They always do this.
So there's a lot of riddling going on. And I think ultimately, listen, I think everybody who is in the in and in the know, especially around the Donbass, this is going to continue on. This is not stopping anytime soon.
Well, there was a recent attack. I think it was maybe Monday. Didn't Ukraine say that they had conducted an attack utilizing AI?
Yes. Yeah, there was the use of AI. There's the use of more advanced drones. They're sending Baba Yagas and some other like really big drones, like motherships, with smaller drones to carry out attacks within the Russian Federation. There was, of course, that big attack before May 9th on the airports and on some civilian infrastructure and residential housing units in Moscow. It continues. It continues. I think there was today, it was yesterday or today, there was over 100 Geran drones, Shahed drones that were,
Yeah, and some Tu-95s took off recently. There were some MiGs and the MiG-31s in the air, all kinds of stuff. So maybe that's a message to say, like, yeah, you thought that the victory parade was us like scaling down.
No, there's no scaling down at this point.
Bless you.
That's how you know it's the truth.
That's true.
So there you go. I think that there's only scaling up at this point. Of course, Russia leaves open the possibility for agreement and peace and things like that. Everybody knows that. But it's continuing. It's continuing. Special operation continuing. Listen, everybody's like, oh, it's a drone war. Yes, it's a drone war. It's also attrition war. They're moving forward, but they're moving forward very slowly. But you know how war is. You move slowly, 1, 2, 3 years, and then all of a sudden it's like punch through. We're waiting for that punch through moment. And it's coming, I think. We already have images. We've also posted this ourselves. We have images of Ukrainian soldiers on the front line. They look like skeletons. They look like Holocaust victims. Like, when you had those pictures, they're literally skeletal. There's no meat on them because there's no resupply to a lot of those places. So it's only a matter of time, a couple more months, I think. And you're going to have real problems along some of the front with Russia, Ukraine. So we'll see. We'll see.
Do you know of any updates with Iran? I know Vance just said something that, again, it's like negotiations. We think negotiations are moving in a positive direction.
I don't know. Trump just said yesterday that they're not moving in a positive direction. He's ready for war again. I don't know what they're talking about. They're all talking out of all sides of their mouths at this point, and out of their ass too. So it just doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense. Iran is ready. Iran is ready for round 3 at this point. They are ready. The people are ready. You saw today, the New York Times and Washington Post have all been reporting that Iran's military arsenal, especially their missile arsenal, is like at like almost 90%. So I don't know what the US and Israel were hitting when they launched like 10,000 plus bombs, but they weren't hitting anything really substantial at that point, except killing kids and killing civilians and bombing bridges and bombing hospitals and bombing cultural sites. But in terms of Iran's missile capabilities, I mean, they're doing very well. And that's according to the Western press. It's not according to Tasnim or Mer News or Tehran Times or Press TV. That's the Western media saying that Iran is well positioned for round 3.
Benjamin Netanyahu's press office did announce that Netanyahu secretly visited the UAE on a covert flight and met with UAE President MBZ during the Iran war. Netanyahu's press office claims that the visit resulted in a historic breakthrough in UAE-Israel relations.
Well, I mean, I don't know what the breakthrough is. They already signed the Abraham Accord, so they're already clearly Zionists, you know? I mean,
they're
point,
like really Zionist. They're
more
the most Zionist out of them all.
Yes.
I once watched a video of an Emirati man singing the Israeli national anthem. It was beautiful.
Tikva, right?
Yeah.
I mean, what can you say at this point? I mean, they sold out everything. They sold their souls. It is the Epstein Accords. You're absolutely right.
Mm-hmm.
Zionized Islam. You know, I don't even want to put Zionized Islam because Islam is beautiful. Forget about it.
It's not really Islam.
They're just Zionist Arabs. And even Arabs are dignified and amazing people. They're just desert Zionists. That's all they are, you know.
Now, I don't know if this is in response to that, but Abbas Araghchi just said Netanyahu has now publicly revealed what Iran's security services long ago conveyed to our leadership. Enmity with the great people of Iran is a foolish gamble. Collusion with Israel in doing so, unforgivable. Those colluding with Iran or those colluding with Israel to sow division will be held to account. I'm guessing that's in response to that.
For sure. For sure, they should be held to account. Listen, how many people have died in Iran? Thousands of people have been killed. Many thousands have been wounded and have been casualties of this Epstein coalition's aggression on Iran. They need to be held accountable. And you know what? The UAE keeps crying about the attacks on their infrastructure and things like that. Maybe they shouldn't be in the Abraham Accords. Maybe they shouldn't be, allowing the U.S. and the Zionists to use their airspace and their territory for military bases and for, the aircraft and things like that. Maybe they should just be neutral. I don't think Iran would have a problem if the UAE was like, look, we're just here for business. We're here for a good time. Let the Russian, Ukrainian chicks come and they can service everybody. And
they left. They all went to China.
That's it. They're gone.
All the Russian and Ukrainian girls, they left. There was a big report on that. They're all in China and Thailand now.
There you go. Prices aren't as good, but you got to do what you got to do.
You got to do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Got to do what you got to do. Now they're stuck with the Americans. If you go to Southeast Asia, you're going to be stuck with the American sexpats. If you go to the UAE, you get some of the higher end sexpats. But you go to Asia, you're going to get the West Coast American sexpats. So
you're going to get the big beer bellies and talking about football and baseball and, good luck. Good luck to
you. Also, happened today about the White House posted it 30 seconds ago. But Araghchi landed in Delhi. He's going to be he's meeting with Lavrov and all the other foreign ministers. Good. Okay, Kevin Warsh has been confirmed as the 17th chairman of the Federal Reserve. Kevin Warsh is Ron Lauder's son-in-law.
Ooh.
So Ron Lauder, for our viewers who don't know, has been the king, the head, the president, whatever you want to call it, of the World Jewish Congress for like 27 years. It's been at least 17. I can't remember. It's a couple decades. But now his son, so Ron Lauder, also to tie it back, is one of the driving forces of our desired takeover of Greenland. He's also one of the peripheral forces behind the kidnapping of Maduro.
Yep.
And obviously, he's one of the main tips of the spear of this whole anti-Semitism fight in America. He has poured millions and millions of dollars into these causes. So his son-in-law, I guess the prince of the World Jewish Congress, is now our Fed chair.
Yikes. I mean, can I ask you a question? what is, people oftentimes say, what is the role of these big organizations? But really, they do have an outsized influence, like the World Zionist Congress and all of these organizations and these different NGOs, these different intergovernmental organizations. They've got an influence.
They've got a tremendous amount of influence. They have a tremendous amount of power, and think about it. When you have a large block of people with a lot of money and very high positions getting together and working in unison, with their resources, that's a very unstoppable force.
We reported that Alex Soros has come out today with a video and said that he's going to combat the Soros Foundation, Open Society Foundation, is going to combat anti-Semitism and Islamophobia. What do you make of that?
I was going to say, what do you think? Why do you think he said that?
I don't know. Is it like the two sidesism? Is he just pandering to like woke, like lefty types? Types?
They're the blue-haired liberal Jew side. You know, I always say there's the Likud or like the Chabad. They're like the Benjamin Netanyahu Jews, and then you have the Soros Jews. I guess they're like the Miriam Adelson Jews and the Soros Jews. Those are what I see as the two factions. And the Soros faction always plays on that sort of shit-libby, meanie head. If Benjamin Netanyahu wasn't such a meanie head, things wouldn't be so bad. And it's like, you guys got to be nicer to the Muslims if you want anti-Semitism. You know, it's that very liberal sort of thing. It's not like you got to stop bombing Muslims in order for the anti-Semitism to go down. If we combat anti-Semitism alongside anti-Islam or Islamophobia, then at least we look a little bit better. It's retarded.
And they're investing, I think the number was $20 million, 20 or $30 million. That's a huge sum, you know, to some of these NGOs. Where's this money going?
And what does this money do?
Like, does it go to rallies? Does it go to demonstrations, to protests, to people's pockets? Does it go to staffing? Does it go to posters? Does it go to social media? Like, what does it do? We don't have there's no transparency on that, by the way.
Well, now that we don't really have like USAID and NED and all of those. See, that's the thing. When we told you this back on our stream, we said once they get rid of these organizations, yes, it's probably a net positive, but it pulls everything back into the shadows. And now we don't know where this money goes. We don't know where it comes from. We don't know where it goes. We have no right to know
how it's used. We don't know anything. There's no receipts. There's no invoices. None of that stuff.
There have been protests in New York City, but I don't know that they're related. I don't want to say that they're related to Soros because they seem a bit more grassroots than a Soros rally. They don't seem as manufactured as a Soros rally.
And what do you make of like Mamdani so far?
This is the thing. Now, I don't live in New York, obviously. I do know people in New York that love him. I know people in New York that hate him. The people that hate him can't really explain to me why. It's usually because it's like crime is still high and it's like, okay, it hasn't even been 6 months or like, you know what I mean? It's always like, and I do watch his policies and I like them. I like I don't know, like people are like, oh, you know, he's just going outside and like shoveling for like optics. So what? That's what they're supposed to do, is to go outside and be with the people. The taxes on the empty residence is a fantastic idea. And recently he announced that they have no deficit. New York City has a deficit of 0. They announced it yesterday.
Wow.
So I don't know. I again, I don't live in New York, so I hate to be like, I love Mamdani, because that like insinuates I know better than New Yorkers that don't like him. But as far as I can see, he seems like a good person, but he is still in camp with the liberal Zionists. Like he still has to pander to them and be good to them and toe the line. Don't tell me that I agree with Aramante, okay?
Let me ask you. So,
oh shit, Nick's here.
Oh, here we go.
What's popping?
My family, my friends, my family.
My friends. I'm really with my friends. I'm really with my family today. You guys know I watch DDG all the time. Like I don't watch a lot of independent media, but I watch DDG. You guys are always on point. So you guys send me the link. You like, bet. Let me comb my hair. Let me comb my hair and get ready for a second. What's popping up, friend?
Nothing. We're just shooting the shit.
Let me ask you, brother. Let me ask you, comrade. What the hell is going on out there in the U.S.?
The United States completely cooked. I heard your guys' conversation regarding like Randy Fine and Dan Blazarian. I think that's just another. It just shows how much like the American people are tired of the ruling class, and they just desperate to grab any hope. Like I'm on the same line with like Sarah, for example. I don't think electoralism is going to be a path to dig us out of this mess. But the Congress in the United States has a 10% approval rating. To answer your question in a nutshell, Chris, how things going in the United States, 10%. Everyone hates it. Everyone hates it here. But the two-party duopoly is so powerful that a lot of the low IQ American, they just point to the other party. They blame the other party for the dysfunctions. But people despise the American government. Now they're not even pretending that they're governing on our behalf. Have you guys seen that story? I didn't get a chance to do it on my channel regarding the massive like data centers that are being built all over the country. They just told like 50,000 residents and one of the data centers are being built that, hey man, sorry, you guys have no more power, no more water. And I'm like, bro, what are we supposed to do about this? Like, what are we supposed to do about this? Like, because I'm not gonna say anything on this channel that's gonna get you in trouble, and many Americans may disagree with me, but like the standard protocol is not working. Like I'm talking about even like protesting. Like I'm going to the protest. We go to like one designated area to protest genocide, and they're not listening to us. So there's like it seems like there's no liberation through electoralism, even like protesting. They don't give a damn. They are daring the proletariat in this country to do something about the fact that they're openly representing another country. Sorry, I'll try to turn my phone off. But yeah, and to answer your question in a nutshell, police state is being built, data centers are driving up energy costs. We're plunged to never-ending war. And Donald Trump is asked about it. He's like, I don't give a fuck about the financial situation of the American people. So yeah, that's the United States.
Yeah.
Right.
He said yesterday he doesn't care. He said, they said, what do you think about the financial situation? He said, I don't think about their financial situation.
He says war. Iran is the biggest threat.
I only think about whether they can have that they can't have a nuclear weapon.
Meanwhile, there's been a fatwa for how many decades from the martyred supreme leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei that there's no nuclear weapons to be built.
Right, and if it's not, Nick brings up the data centers. If it's not bad enough, we have these South Africans and Jews running amok in our country. But the biggest data center is being built by Kevin O'Leary out of Canada.
Oh,
it's supposed to be the size of 2 Manhattans.
You see the video where he was crying over his dumb watch. He like, I got this once in a lifetime watch. But these people are sick.
They're really sick.
How much they value just things. Like it's a stupid fucking watch, man. He's crying about it. And this is the guy, this Canadian who dictating American society is wild, man.
Chris, he's holding it in the store and he's like, I have the only, like you would like if you were like, if you sent this to me as like a movie script for a villain, I'd be like, they don't talk like that. It's too cringe. He's like, I have the only one. And he starts crying over a watch.
Crazy. It's sick shit. They don't cry for human beings like children massacred in Gaza, in Iran, in Lebanon, but they cry for a watch, bro. A watch. It's I don't know what to say. Let me ask
Nick, what do you think of Mamdani? Chris just asked me,
bro.
Yeah, I want to ask him because I know he has stronger opinions.
Yeah, I legitimately hope that the working class in New York is extremely successful with Mamdani, and to me, I see Mamdani as being the result of our failure, and I mean failure. As revolutionaries, we wasn't able to provide another option for New Yorkers, and I try to take a gentle tone here because I always have to explain this to a lot of New Yorkers in my audiences who's heartbroken by my take on this. I'm not mad at you guys. Like I'm not mad at the New Yorkers. I'm not mad at even progressives who like super enthusiastic about Mamdani. the failure of the left to provide another alternative. That's why I'm angry at New York DSA. Like I give them shit all the time because they're the ones who refuse to provide another option. They keep doing this failure of going within the Democratic Party. But when you see the footage of Zohran Mamdani, his NYPD setting up blockades and preventing protests of genocidal synagogues. I said before that Zohran Mamdani's NYPD is going to beat the shit out of pro-Palestine protesters. That's exactly what he's doing, what they're doing. They're also coordinating with ICE, something else he said he wasn't going to do. I'm just not a fan. Like, if you're in New York, once again, I hope you guys and your project is extremely successful. I'm just not a big fan of the devil's bargain. I don't like the idea that you're going to hire Zionists, be friends with Zionists. He protected Hakeem Jeffries' position, blocked the primary race against Hakeem Jeffries. So once again, I really do want to see victories for the New York working class. I just can't abide by the devil's bargain and selling out Cuba, Venezuela. He comments on Cuba and Venezuela was disgusting, and I have a hard time forgiving that. And I feel like Mamdani is very dangerous towards our cause overall because he is a fantastic politician. He is easily the best mayor in this country. That's not saying a lot, but it is an accomplishment. I feel like he's going to play a very big role in applying the tranquilizing drug to this generation. And a lot of Gen Z, they seem like they're ready to move on from the duopoly, but having a ton of Zohran Mamdanis come out and support imperialism and the free speech crackdown for I think failed promises that he failed to deliver on so many different things. I just see him being as a great sheepdog to the imperialist Democratic Party in a time where they was ready to die. And he's extremely dangerous. He's not like I can laugh at AOC, like AOC is cringe. Like AOC helps us more than anything else. Zohran Mamdani is dangerous, man, because I feel like he has the potential to revive the Democratic Party. And that's exactly what he's doing. He endorsed Kathy Hochul, making deals with Hakeem Jeffries. And once again, I said all that I want New York to be as successful as possible, but I got a bad feeling about Zohran, man. Like, because he's going to be around for a very long time, and I feel like he's going to be a vehicle to revive the right Democratic Party. That's just my initial take on top of my head.
Do you see him as like a neo-Obama and Obama 2.0, or do you see him differently?
He don't have the power to be Obama yet. Like Obama was the president, the drone strike king. I would never get mad at people for criticizing politicians, but being that dramatic this early doesn't really help. When I do go after Zohran, I always try to be extremely laser focused in my criticism. I don't even go after him personally. I'm sure Zoran's a nice guy. Like, he seems like a nice guy to hang out with. He seemed like a chill dude. I'll always try to keep my criticism of him non-personal and not hyperbolic. I would not call him Obama. I wouldn't call him like Obama or anything like that. He doesn't have that power. Like, he doesn't even have the power to inflict the evil like Obama. I don't think he will. I see him as this next evolution of liberal Zionism. And it's clear, like, Democrats now, as the party was falling and failing, they're going to lean more towards like the Kat Abu Ghazelas or whatever her name is, and all these like Palestinian and Arab liberals, because they suffer from the same problem that our community suffer from. Like the way that we suffer through black liberalism and black neoliberals is the same thing with the Arab and Palestinian community. They have their liberals and incrementalists, and they got their careerists who are willing to condemn their own people's self-defense, like Kat does. Kat is a Palestinian who condemns Hamas, but she's the future. She lost her last election, but she's the future of the party. Like the next Dick Cheney is gonna look like Kat Abu Ghalea. That's what the next Dick Cheney is gonna look like. So the Democrats are running a ton of these brown Arab candidates. Sorry, I'm gonna try to turn that off here. That are going to head fake on the Free Palestine issue, while implementing neoliberalism, while saying that they they support Taiwan separatism like Kat Abugalea does. While they will say free Palestine, but they will condemn Cuba. They will condemn Venezuela. They will support Nazis in Ukraine, like every single one of them. So there's that's why I see, like, for the future, like the Zoran, the Cats, they're here to save the Democratic Party. And once they really establish entrenched power, I think they will sell out even more. But I wouldn't go too hard and say that Zoran's like Obama yet. I think he's a careerist. I think he's part of the professional managerial class, and he just want to succeed in the Democratic Party. And he's not willing to cross the ruling class in any way that will ruin his future. But he may get some, like, incremental. You may get free buses in New York. You know what I mean? He may get some in between the margin changes. Maybe some stuff that the New York working class has been overdue for. So he may give them a few things the ruling class don't mind giving away. But I see them being a giant sheepdog towards the imperialist Democratic Party, and the result of the New York left and left in general not giving the working class options. That's my assessment of him.
With Mamdani as sort of the canary in the coal mine, where do you think things are going for the midterms? Because I'm thinking about this every day. We're getting closer to the midterms day by day. Do you see the House flipping, the Senate flipping, both flipping? Do you see it the same old? What does that mean for the next 2 years? Because we're going to be in for, I think, a wild ride the next 2 years, to be honest with you, after November.
Bro, it's going to be complete Democrat domination. And it gives me no joy to say that, fam. It's crazy how fast Donald Trump and MAGA rehabilitated the Democratic Party. I said it when Donald Trump was elected. I was like, guys, don't get too gung ho on this idea that the Democratic Party is dead. Remember, how dead it seemed like the party was. But the job of the duopoly is always to revive and resuscitate the other side. They don't ever want to get one. They don't want one party to become too dominant. Like, think about the history. Like, when you had George W. Bush Jr. I start there so I don't go too long, where he had an unpopular war, and you had the rise of Barack Obama. And it seemed like, I remember I was a senior in high school when Obama was elected. It seemed like Republicans would never win ever again. Like, it seemed like there was going to be, do you guys remember? It seemed like there was going to be like a Democrat Reagan era where Republicans would never ever recover. I remember being young. I was a young, dumb liberal teen. I was like, man, the Republican Party is dead. That's gosh, I used to say back then. The Republican Party is dead, and we thought it was. Then what happened? Barack Obama became the drone strike king. He built out the bangs, became a deporter in chief. He performed so horrifically that he lost the Democratic Party over 1,000 seats in 8 years and led to the election of Donald Trump. Imagine blowing a lead that badly.
He won a Nobel Prize. Yeah. He won this award. He won that award. He got every single honorary doctorate diploma he could get. He was beloved by everybody. And what did he do? He didn't pass Medicare for all. He had a supermajority. He could have passed Medicare for all, abortion, this thing, that thing. He did none of that. The only significant thing he did is, as you said, he bailed out the banks in 2008 when he should have let them crumble under their own weight and incompetence and, brutal capitalist machinations. He saved them and resuscitated them and filled his entire cabinet in terms of the Treasury and the Federal Reserve people. He put all the Goldman Sachs boys and JP Morgan boys there. He did.
Yeah. Yep. And that led directly to Donald Trump, to my overall point. You guys see the game they play, and then there was this giant MAGA wave, that MAGA culture in America after Donald Trump was elected, and then he fumbled that. He fumbled it. Yeah. And he lost to Joe Biden. And especially after January 6th, not like we care about it, but the American electorate did. And like after January 6th, Donald Trump seemed dead in the water, right? Yeah. After Donald Trump's first horrific term, he seemed dead in the water. Then Joe Biden committed a genocide. Like, he committed a genocide, started arming Nazis in Ukraine. You guys see how the point I'm making in a long-winded way, you guys see how both parties work together in order to make sure one party never gets too weak? Because after Joe Biden committed a genocide, it seemed like the Democratic Party was dead forever, right? It seemed like it was over. Then Donald Trump takes office, and he's easily going down as the worst president in the modern era because every single president escalates the empire. But go ahead, Chris. I know you want to
Listen, I'll say it as always, and this is the quote the late great Gore Vidal used to always say, "We're the United States of amnesia."
Yeah.
And that's really what we are. It's like we have a fish brain, goldfish brain. Like a couple years go by and we totally forget what came before, and now on to a new thing, and vice versa. And everybody's just sort of, somebody was saying Idiocracy, the movie, is really the reality. And I said, I don't really want to accept that. But it feels like that, doesn't it? In many ways, it feels like the American people are so bamboozled by the propaganda, and they know. I think a lot of the working class knows what's up, but they don't know there hasn't been an actual political movement to break out of that malaise for them, to break out of that, sort of mind control that they have. They really are completely, in that way, subsumed by the elite and their media.
Yeah, and that's why I've been trying to wake people up, because to answer your original question was about the midterms. That's why I see the pattern repeating itself. Like I'm in my 30s now, man. Like it gets old. Like I'm seeing the same Bernie Sanders media type sheepdogs. They starting up again. They starting, like it's like amnesia. We doing it every 4 years, and now seeing them gain popularity. Like Hassan Piker's being promoted. He's doing rallies with Democrats.
Yes. What do you make of that? Like that feels to me very much of exactly what you're talking about. Like Hassan Piker built himself over the past few years like a kind of like a Lenin. And then he ends up coming out and he's like, vote Democrat. What?
Like it's not personal. But Chris, we gotta correct the record. We can't allow these people to sully the name of our ideology. People just assume I'm clout chasing. He's the biggest name who was calling himself a socialist and communist while engaging in just rank liberalism.
Yes.
So it's our job to correct the record. That's why I came out with a diss track responding to his anti-third party nonsense. And it's annoying to watch people fall for this. And I'm sure this is obvious to you guys because there's been a lot of like a Democrat attack pieces, corporate media attack pieces on Hassan Piker. And then people were like, Nick, come on, don't you see that the Zionists hate Hassan? Surely he's doing something right. Why do you want to join the Zionists and attacking Hassan? Bro, I'm seeing people who are smart fall for this. And it's clear to me that this is just WWE, pro wrestling, politics at its finest. Yeah. So if you have someone you're trying to elevate, and to go to the pro wrestling analogy, you know what's one of the best ways to elevate a wrestler is to have a very disliked heel become his rival and elevate them by having the crowd join the side of the babyface, to use wrestling terms. So you have someone like Neera Tanden who couldn't be more despised by the American people. So who you have attack Hassan? Neera Tanden. You have the most despised people in politics attack Hassan Piker. So then when Hassan Piker endorses AOC in 2028, because he's going to, it will then lend him even more street cred, because then they can turn around and say, well, Hassan Piker, don't you know he had a hit piece against him in the New York Times? So the establishment, bro, they've been locked in. They've been completely locked in with these psyops over these last few years. And the Hassan Piker is another one. And they're taking advantage of Zoran, because Zoran is doing the best he can to rehabilitate Zionists in the Democratic Party in New York. They are locked in, and it seems like they are always one step ahead of us. And it's depressing. Like I see their psyops working in real time, and I see people who are smart falling for it. And so I think, despite I don't want it to be the case, I think the Democratic Party is going to come back strong as fuck. I think you're going to have like Pete Buttigieg, AOC on the ticket. We're gonna see history's first gay president. That's my pick, man. I'm sticking with it. You're gonna have Pete Buttigieg. AOC gonna have a good showing. She's gonna drop out sometime probably after Nevada. Then Hassan Piker gonna come out with a video like, yeah, I know we don't really like Pete Buttigieg, guys, but he has AOC's backing, and we have to stop JD Vance, because you know the JD Vance Marco Rubio ticket, or maybe reverse. I think maybe Marco Rubio and JD Vance or something. They're gonna be like, come on, we gotta stop Marco Rubio. We gotta stop We gotta stop JD. You guys see how we stuck in the cycle again? And
Yeah.
it seems like they're gonna be successful. I'm trying to stop it, but I only have so much clout. I can only do so much, even though I see this coming.
Nick, brother, I gotta ask you because we are less than a year away from official announcements of presidential candidates in the
Oh my
Democratic Party.
God.
Can you believe that 2027 is going to be the full cycle of people coming out and starting the campaign because 2028 is the election. We are there, people.
Oh
We're
my
there.
God. I'm
We're in
not
the window.
ready.
We're in the window. So I got to ask, and we're in May right now. We're in May, June, July. Next thing you know,
Oh,
it's
stop it.
I'm sorry. I just have to. I gotta because listen. I gotta say this for a couple of reasons. Number one, if Democrats take the White House in the next presidential election, I already told all of our comrades here in Russia they're fucked because Democrats hate Russia. Russia. They're gonna go, and I said any agreement that you might think you're gonna make with Kirill Dmitriev and whoever in the White House, it's gonna go so fast you're not even gonna see it. It's going to be gone, and they're going to put so many sanctions on Russia. Forget about 20,000. It's going to be 30, 40,000. So I just want to say, and they're pro-EU, they're pro-NATO, they're pro every sort of homo nationalism, imperialism, you name it. They're there. They're there. Queer imperialism is the name of the game. But let me ask you, who do you think are the top contenders in the Democratic Party that are going to rise like creme de la creme, and who's sort of like a sort of an outsider that might come in and ruin the whole thing for the mainstream?
Regarding your NATO point, I didn't even think about that before, but man, dude, the Ukrainians are fucked. They're already facing a population collapse. I know you guys do a lot of coverage of this, but they are forcing the Ukraine. I'm gonna get back to your original question. I'm gonna get back to that. Trust me.
No, for sure.
You had Friedrich Merz, who was pushing for Ukrainian men to come back home, and they're slashing refugee benefits. You know, the same European countries that used to say we stand with the Ukrainian refugees, we stand with the Ukrainian people. They're like, so Zelensky running out of cannon fodder. So what we're gonna do? We're gonna cut your benefits. We're gonna apply massive pressure, and they're trying to send the Ukrainian diaspora back home so they can fight and die on behalf of NATO. So my initial response when I hear this is like, man, the Ukrainians are fucked, man, because Russia, they can. It seems like they can just hang steady. The West, they get extremely cocky about the failure of Russia to advance, but Russia is in full control. There's no need for them to speed this up, especially when European governments are facing so much pressure. How many, like we have another victim of the Zelensky curse, Keir Starmer. How many European leaders face disastrous election results ever since the start of the Ukraine proxy war? We call it the Zelensky curse. Putin just got to sit back. Europe inflation, the cost of their energy is only going to skyrocket. So Putin is not in any hurry, and we know by the exchange between dead bodies between Russia and Ukraine that the casualty difference is astronomical. I saw a recent exchange where Russia gave 1,000 dead Ukrainian soldiers, and it was like only 35 Russians. So the point I'm making in a long haul that when I see a Democratic Party administration, I see the complete collapse of Ukrainian society because they have made it clear that they're going to fight to the last Ukrainian, and also more conflict against Russia, which is bad for humanity. So that's another point that I didn't really think about. But to answer your question, I do believe that AOC has a really good shot. Really? I wouldn't have told you that like a year ago, but I'm watching her team develop, and I'm watching the AOC coordinated media come together. Oof. And it seems like this plan is starting very early on. Like, have you guys seen the discourse regarding like I've seen like Sam Cedar, every calculus, all the big Bernie media people are upset with people who are siding with Marjorie Taylor Greene over AOC. Now, I haven't really. Actually, I will get Sarah thought because I like that reaction.
Well, I just hate that she tried to use it as an opportunity to grandstand and say, "I would never cooperate with an anti-Semite racist." Bitch, you literally signed bills with Ted Cruz. What the fuck are you talking about?
What?
Like, go away with this nonsense. MTG that was a huge misstep in my opinion for AOC. MTG is a bulk hero right now.
Yes.
So that was a very big missed opportunity for AOC.
Yeah, but it was also extremely revealing to me because look at the media apparatus that AOC has around her that immediately started attacking influential names who was siding with Marjorie Taylor Greene in this conflict. Well, to your point, Sarah, AOC is inherently a hypocrite because you guys have no problems with working with Nazis in Ukraine, for example,
Right.
in the far right. So they're not. So they're not even about. Oh, I refuse to work with a white nationalist. You literally was buddy with Joe Biden. And you was acting as caretaker in some park. Remember when they was holding hands? Like she was this fucking caretaker for like a day. So I don't want to hear that. It's about partisan tribal mentality that they don't even necessarily have. They want their followers to have it. So AOC is willing to work with people she disagree with in the establishment, but she's trying to imprint on her followers' minds that we never see coalitions with anyone outside of the Democratic Party. Anyone who is considered irredeemable, like myself as well, your guys, Taylor, anyone who's labeled like an anti-Semite, white nationalist, anyone who's not a Democrat, don't ever seek an alliance with us. You just trust our plan. Don't ever seek any alternative. You join with me. And the amount of people who was defending the tribal behavior, it was clear to me. And the reason why I bring this up is because AOC has everything in place for her to have a successful run. She is hated by the American people, by independents and Republicans, but we're talking about a Democratic Party primary. You guys know that she is beloved by the suburban wine moms that used to hate her. Like she did. Yeah. There's like among the Democratic base, she is beloved. She will have people like Hassan Piker, who is way more influential than me. I mean, I'm talking about like magnitudes of hundreds of times more popular than me in terms of like live viewers, for example. She's gonna have him on this side. She's gonna have Kyle Kulinski. She's gonna have Breaking Points. She's gonna have the entirety of the Bernie media industrial complex on her side as Donald Trump is just laying gimmies to her, as JD Vance is giving her gimmies. So what seemed to be extremely unlikely, and I want to take pushback on this because I know this is kind of a bold pick, but what seems like unlikely 2 years ago is extremely possible now, and we're gonna see. Like a lot of people are upset with things that AOC is doing and saying, "Fam, it's going to get way worse."
Way worse.
Wait till go ahead, Chris. But wait till AOC is shown in the polls as we get closer to Iowa as one of the leader. You guys know how fast she's gonna sell out Palestinians. Oh. You guys if you guys think she made a centrist right wing shift now, wait until we get closer to the election, and we're gonna see the true mama bear. Nancy Pelosi, and the sellout will be complete. I think she will be the next Obama. I think it's way more.
Very well could be.
But that's my guess. I'm not good at predicting electoral politics, to be clear. I'm good at predicting a lot of things, but not electoral politics. I thought Bernie was going to win.
Well, yeah.
So we see if I'm right, but I'm just looking at the trends. MSNBC loves her. Morning Joe loves her. That was different. Like 4 years ago, they were still pretending.
4 years ago, they said she was a socialist. She was a Fidel lover. She was this. She was. Yeah. Remember that?
Yeah. So her line for genocide for Joe Biden and her being a Biden surrogate won over unanimously the support of the ruling class for her future campaign. So it pissed off many people to left. But AOC was like, "Oh, those pussies get over it." They have short memories. They will forget me shilling for genocide Joe Biden, and many of them are. So. I'm going to try to make sure AOC 2028 is dead on arrival. I know I said it. I'm going to stick to it. I'm going to be a thorn on her side. And, bro, the amount of left infighting that we're about to see is going to be historic. Oh. It's going to be way worse than post-Bernie Sanders because there's going to be a wave of sheepdogs that's going to go on the offensive against people like us. They already have. Because imagine how like the Hassan Piker, AOC, Bernie media apparatus is going to respond to us calling her out on the campaign trail. Because I'm going to be vicious. I'm going to do everything I can to make sure that I'm wrong. But there's going to be people like, "Oh, I can't believe that you guys are fighting against AOC. You're a right wing adjacent, bro." The left wing infighting is going to be insane. And there's going to be people that we think. I'm telling you guys right now, there are going to be people that we think are on our side that's gonna betray us later. They're gonna get weak in the knees.
You and I have already been. All three of us have been betrayed, bro. I'm called a fascist, which of course is not a negative thing for me. I mean, they're the ones fighting in the Donbass, so I don't give a fuck what anybody says. But I'm called a fascist when my family fought against fascism. And I myself have been at the receiving end of the U.S. empire, and now all of a sudden they're like, yeah, because you're social conservative and blah blah blah, you don't support the AOC, you don't support the you are the fascist. I said, why am I? Could I disagree with Hassan Piker? Could I disagree with this political line? Because people are dying. Because my friend from Lebanon, his entire family was massacred today, and he sent me like, look, why am I the fascist? Fuck you, you're the fascist. Really? Yeah. These people are the worst. These people are the absolute worst, and they're the ones who lecture us about socialism. They know more theory than us. They are the ones who are, a Marxist economist par excellence. Give me a break. It's bullshit. You know it, I know it. We have been, listen, the fact that you had ACP members on, they went after you. The fact that you talked to Green Party or whoever, they went after you. The fact that you talk to anybody outside of their orthodoxy, they go after you.
Yeah.
Because where do they get their money? Let me ask you a question. You and I, we're all scrounging. We're all trying to do our best in this world. How come they live the high life? They don't have to worry about taking the metro and public transportation. They're not sitting on economy class, economy light. I don't think so. I don't think AOC travels that way.
Yeah, I'm just like you, persona non grata to these people. Like I worked on the Bernie campaign. All these people used to follow me, fam. I'm telling you, when I tell you that all these people used to follow me, the way they all used to follow me, now they despise me, especially because I was on the Jimmy Dore show quite a few times. I was on the Jimmy Dore show when he did the segment bashing Nina Turner, and I explained to the Bernie people why Nina Turner's going to lose, and she did. Yeah. And I called her out for running a horrible campaign afterwards. These things they will never forgive me for. Being against AOC and once again just being in conversation with the ACP, because I don't know if you guys know what kind of person I am. I'm the kind of person when a mob of people try to dictate who I can and can't talk to, it makes me want to talk to them even more. I'm like, hold up, what's this about? Yeah. Especially when I was in y'all's same position. The same way that they try to create a blacklist of ACP members is what they did to me. Like when people will try to put pressure on other people for having me on, and I'm like, if I was canceled and I was blacklisted, why would I ever do that to someone else when it has been done to me? Right. So I'm like, all right, let me have the ACP people on, and I had Haas on, I had Eddie Liger. I love Haas, by the way, he's funny as hell. But one thing about the ACP, I never had to worry about them condemning Hamas. How many times have ACP members condemned Hamas? I don't have to worry about them endorsing Democrats. Now, I mean, I don't have to worry about them smearing Putin, being anti-Putin, anti-China. I don't have to worry about them smearing Burkina Faso because they're anti-gay. Like there's so many things that the DSA left would do. Like they'd be soft imperialists. They would support once again Nazis in Ukraine. I never had to worry about ACP people supporting Nazis in Ukraine, for example. And then they would take their litmus test and apply it to me. Like, hey, I want you to uphold these litmus tests that I have. Yeah. Okay, are you cool with people who support Ukrainian Nazis? Yeah, you are. You just want me to have this litmus test because I'm supposed to do like some sort of Twitter check and approve of every single tweet that someone sent out. No more of these ridiculous litmus tests. We're supposed to be in conversation with our anti-imperialist brothers and sisters. And I learned the reason why they didn't want us to have these conversations, because I had Haas on, I had Eddie Liger on, had the Midwestern Marks on boys on many times, yourself as well, Chris. Yeah. And I'm listening to these people, I'm like, hold up. These people sound base as hell. They sound anti-imperialist. And it's almost like the Democrat sheepdogs, they don't want people to be in conversation because they don't want people to realize that they share the same agenda, that they have the same anti-imperialist analysis. They just want you to dismiss each other as Nazgul or secret right-winger. And the reason why we're getting all into this is because this is going to escalate by maybe a magnitude of like 5 to 10 times. Like all the smears that you guys taken up to this date, all the smears that I have taken is going to ramp up so much during AOC's attempt to run for president. Can you imagine? They go after us for criticizing AOC now. Imagine if they're trying to win an election that many of them view as existential, because when we come with our critical analysis of AOC, they will then frame it as, oh, you guys are trying to help JD Vance win. You guys are seeing this. We're going to hear the same thing over and over again. And I'm already preparing for it. If people follow my channel, you guys already say, I'm preparing for this civil war because it's going to pop off. I don't know if we're going to win, man. I think the Hassan Piker people might shit live a lot of people into the Democratic Party, but I'm going to try the best I can to peel as many of them off as I can. And always been successful. I've been successful in some instances on that. But go ahead, Chris.
No, I just want to say, in conclusion, really, I think the next few years is going to be one big gaslighting session against us.
Yeah.
We're once again going to be called Russian agent, Chinese agents. We support terrorism. We support jihadists. We support Islamists. We're anti-Semitic. We're this, that, the other. But we need to stay firm to our principles. Really. Yeah. We've been correct all along. You know that, I know that. We've made mistakes, no doubt about it. But more across the board, we've been correct geopolitically. We have been correct. And now Trump is in China. I don't believe anything big is going to happen. But I do think that the U.S. is continuing its wars by other means against China, against Russia, against Iran, against the entire global south, against the BRICS countries. People need to understand that. This is not some kumbaya moment. This is the empire regrouping and reorganizing for its continued assault on everybody else.
Well, what do you think about the China meeting? Like, I saw they have this big meeting with Xi today, and they have Elon Musk and all these business leaders pulling up to China. What were your thoughts on it, Chris?
Listen, my thoughts are this. Listen, China is very much a stable and responsible nation state and rational actor. It will always seek diplomacy. It doesn't want to resort to conflict. It's always a country of diplomacy. That's not only the 20th century. That's not from Mao's time. That goes back to Qing dynasty, Ming dynasty, Tang dynasty. All of them have this as sort of the principle in Chinese political life, because for them, harmony is the main principle historically in China. So I think that China wants to have good relations with the U.S. Of course, it's the second largest economy. It will overtake the U.S. in the coming decades. But China will defend its national interests and national security and its territorial integrity. So, for example, Taiwan is non-negotiable. U.S. meddling in Hong Kong, Macau, Tibet, Xinjiang, Inner Mongolia, amongst all the ethnicities, that's a no-go for China. And China wants to maintain bilateral and multilateral relations with other countries through the BRICS, plus through the SCO, through all these organizations on its own terms. She doesn't want the U.S. to dictate what it can do with Iran. It has its own relationship with Iran, and it has its own relationship via the Strait of Hormuz. So I think that it's going to try to seek a balanced approach, but the United States doesn't operate that way. You know that. The United States is going to want its maximalist demands, and if it doesn't get them, Trump isn't going to blame Xi himself probably because he likes him personally. He's going to go after the CPC. He's going to go after his own people. He's going to go after the Democrats. He's going to go after whoever else to blame that. But ultimately, I'm not really hopeful that something big will come out of this meeting. I think this meeting is really more for show and more for back channeling. But I don't expect any major breakthroughs at this point.
Yeah, I love how Xi Jinping, he essentially told Donald Trump in the United States to go fuck himself with their sanctions. I wonder if that would come up. I know you guys probably covered it, how China was like, yeah, we're not listening to any of these sanctions anymore.
No, of course not. Why should they? Who's the U.S. to dictate to China what it can do and what it can't do, who can trade with who it can, who it can do financial transactions with and who it can't? Who's the U.S.? The U.S. is a new kid on the block, 250 years this year. China's 6,000 years, 5,000 years of recorded history. Yeah. Please, give me a break.
Base China. You guys see how that's what sovereignty looks like. Meanwhile, you have Japan. I did a hotspot video on this today. You guys see how Sanae Takaichi, she's trying to create a Japanese CIA. She's working with Kash Patel.
Oh, good for her. It'll probably be really successful.
Girl bossing it.
I would pay to be a fly on the wall to watch the Japanese work with our FBI. They would probably be like, oh my God, horrified.
Yeah, now think about the lack of sovereignty that they have in Japan, Sarah.
Oh yeah.
It's really bad.
Bro, you're creating a intelligence agency that is working with.
Why don't you just call them Mossad?
Might as well. Might as well. And the Japanese people, they're engaging in massive anti-war protests right now because Takaichi is saber rattling at China, and young Japanese people who are peace loving, they never seen war. They don't have this nostalgic view of Imperial Japan. They see the idea of going to war with China, and they're like, dude, what the fuck we talking about? They despise the Japanese ruling class, but they're a capitalist dictatorship that their ruling class is dictated by the United States, so they have no choice. Now they're working with the FBI, working with Kash Patel. What does that say about their sovereignty, and what does that say about the reality of this program? What the reason why I covered this in my hotspot and why I think this is important to talk about is this is essentially another extension of American intelligence that's going to be used against the Chinese. They even say they're going to engage in foreign espionage. Who you guys think they're talking about with that? I think maybe North Korea is another country they're looking at when it comes to espionage, but it's obviously going to be aimed at China. And you guys see how the West, it seems like, is gearing up for this gigantic conflict. And maybe one of the reasons why they're going to China is to lay the groundwork on that, where they can say, well, we asked about Taiwan, we asked China about Taiwan. We approached China about them supplying aid to Iran. We approached China about them supplying aid to. So this is just a theory. Maybe this meeting is also for the U.S. neocons to set up like a media angle about them confronting China, because it seemed like to me when I look at the actions of Ursula von der Nazi, Kaja Kallas, it seemed like everyone in the West is gearing up for conflict against China, and it seemed like that's the direction they're going to. I know a lot of people seem to be enthusiastic about potential business deals with China, but like what you said, Chris, I think I agree with your analysis. I don't see anything major and substantial that's coming from that.
No. And I want to say, in conclusion, I think, the classic maxim where it was Lenin, where there are years where nothing happens, decades where nothing happens, and there are weeks where decades happen. I think we're in that period of time where we're seeing a lot of transition, a lot of changes. We're seeing complete transformation in how warfare is done, information, you name it, across the board. I just think that we're in for a tumultuous next few years, and I think even the next decade. And I think people just have to brace themselves and have to prepare for that ultimately. And I think that at this point, it's important to listen to different analyses. Don't get your stuff from the CNNs and the MSNBCs and the Foxes. Come to independent media, come to DD Geopolitics, go over to Revolutionary Blackout Network, to Nick, to all the great work that's being done over there. Go to all the other independent, Jimmy Dore, Jackson, everybody else, ACP, you name it, across the board. Go to all the independent people. Just listen to different perspectives. I'm not saying you have to agree with everything they say. Just open your minds to different ways of thinking. Because at this point, the orthodoxy, the dogmatic way, is getting us nowhere, and it's sheepdogging people into World War III and apocalypse. That's really what it is doing. And people are ready for a third temple, red heifers, blood on the streets, nuclear bombs falling, who knows, raptures. We just got to keep people a little bit sane and a little bit grounded here, because shit's getting crazy real quick.
Yeah. And one thing I want to mention to people is never allow the AOCs and all the people defending. I saw Hassan, he came out with a video defending her position of never working with the Marjorie Taylor Greene. Never allow these people to convince you to distrust and hate your neighbors, especially the neighbors who share your agenda for peace, your willingness to promote the advancement of the working class. Because there are a lot of people who I found and still kind of find cringe, but I don't believe that, like, for example, like opposing genocide, opposing trying to implement an apartheid state all around the West where we're second-class citizens to a Jewish elite. Like, these are the kind of things that are not even necessarily left-right issues. This is what I'm mostly abandoning. I think opposing genocide is just a pro-human issue. And the ruling class has become so deranged, and they have taken so much for the working class. We need to take advantage of the dissent that is growing among the populace, even if we may not disagree. Maybe we have small disagreements around the edges. But for example, opposing this massive anti-Semitism, free speech crackdown, opposing genocide and the mass slaughter that's happening to our Lebanese brothers and sisters. They're doing horrific things in the West Bank right now. I think opposing that is more important than anything else. I think we need to reach out to as many people as possible. That's why I was even on Jake Shill's show, and I find a lot of things he says to be cringe as hell. But it's like, hey man, let's have a conversation with these people. Yeah, like we need to find a way to unite the goyim, unite the working class against these people who legitimately feel like they're above the law. Like there are these Jewish supremacist white collar criminals who are getting off scot free. Like these rapists who are fleeing to Israel. There was
you mean the pedophiles and Epstein elite?
Yeah, the Epstein elite. They are committing mortgage fraud. They are committing healthcare fraud, and they getting pardoned left and right. So there's like an untouchable class that we need to find a way to overthrow. And then after we overthrow them, then we engage in the next round of class antagonisms, because the class antagonism will show themselves even if we were successful get rid of them. But we have to handle that later. We need to take care of this Epstein cabal that is literally driving us, especially with these AI data centers. They're driving humanity off a cliff, and we need to see who else has common sense to realize that and lock arms and have conversations with them and figure out how we're going to improve and challenge these people. Like there's that video of King Charles, the Epstein King. He's demanding mass censorship and digital IDs on the UK people, and they're becoming even more emboldened. When King Charles visited the United States, you guys think he didn't talk about that with Donald Trump? You think that didn't come up at all, the digital IDs? No, they're going to continue to take until we start fighting back. So that's why I'm trying my best. I don't know if I've been successful, man, to be honest, but I'm trying my best to try to get people to start this fight, man, because it's a serious fight. And things are going to escalate, like you said, Chris, very, very fast. But with the rise of AI, with the spread of these genocidal wars, with Israel essentially being in an existential position, they are losing settlers. Their economy is suffering through years of war. Mass businesses are closing. Why do you think that Netanyahu and Israel is behaving the way they are, as erratic, pushing for fascism in the West? They're facing an existential threat, and as the ruling class continues to fight these threats, they're going to try to increase their power. And if we don't wake up, man, it's going to get very dark very soon. So Sarah mentioned earlier, actually kind of have she kind of black-pilled and doomer in a way, and it's hard not to feel that way because what we're up against has never been seen before by working class movements. This international Epstein elite that is working in coordination with each other. Like the Friedrich Merz, they're working in coordination with Keir Starmer's, who working in coordination with Emmanuel Macron, who's working in coordination with monarchs in the Middle East and with bro, it's a massive ruling class that we got to find together. We got to find a way to come together and oppose. This is why I always try to stay in conversation with our friends at DG Geopolitics and them.
Absolutely. Listen, Sarah doesn't have to do them. Look what we got on our side. Sarah, just put the headband on. You were at Arbain. Just put the headband on, and we're gonna take them all out. Don't worry.
Let's do our super chats. Did I already say that I'm doing them with Nick because there's a few in here that I think Nick will have to answer. We love the intro too, and I don't want to change it, even though it has stuff on there that's no longer relevant. I think
that's
it's
okay.
Like nostalgic now.
It's always in our hearts.
This is probably for Nick. Why is it that liberals like Midas Touch are literally so misinformed about Ukraine war, facts about Russia, the Russian government, military, and literally fawn over Zelensky and the Ukrainian government?
They're Nazis. Because I'm not attributing this to ignorance, because I was doing a lot of research recently, diving into old articles that are very hard to find. I mean, you literally have to go to the events. If you're bored, if you're a nerd like me, go to the advanced settings on Google, type in Ukraine, but set the date before February 2022. Look for Ukraine articles. There's a way you can set the date from a certain date range.
Yeah.
You can look for articles.
You do custom,
Yeah, my nerdy ass, you do this stuff all the time. Search from 2012 to 2019 and look at all the articles, including the one that I shared where I found while I was doing this, where you had a UN report there was a massive inquiry from 2016 and 2018 where they found the Ukrainian government guilty of indiscriminate killings.
Yeah, war crime report.
Yeah. I know you guys are very well familiar with this, but this was reported in the BBC. Like if you look at now, they all pull these or they shadow ban these articles. But if you do a very specific search and you're good at using the internet, you can find them. You can find articles from German corporate media, CNN, MSN. They all talk about, hey man, there's this massive fucking fascism problem in Ukraine right now. And you know,
all of them went there. Vice, everybody went there. And said it. Everybody, they made documentaries about Nazi camps for kids.
Yeah,
I still have that video.
Remember Ro Khanna? This is back when I used to like Ro Khanna. I was a Bernie bro back then. And Ro Khanna, he caught my attention because he used to call out the Nazis in Ukraine. He had a tweet in early 2022 calling out. Oh, sorry, it was a 2020. He deleted it in 2022. It was a 2020 tweet where he called out United States Congress for funding Nazis in Ukraine. Mm-hmm. And back when I was a young, dumb Bernie bro, like, see, this is why Ro Khanna is based, because he called out the Nazis in Ukraine. Then he deleted the tweet. He deleted the tweet years later as he got the order from the Democratic Party. I believe it was March 2022 when he deleted the tweet. So I'm going into this because regarding the super chat, they're engaging in pro-war propaganda and selective amnesia. The Midas touch, these pro-war people, they know exactly what they're doing. They know how the United States used to report on Ukraine. And when it was told to flip on a dime, like Ro Khanna did, he flipped on the dime and deleted tweets. So I don't believe it's them being misinformed. I believe it's malice because there are Nazis who want to help Nazis kill as many Russians as possible.
It's true. Nick's not wrong. He's absolutely right. 100% on this.
Mm-hmm. ICE should be compared to the Savak.
Yes, absolutely. Well, they're all trained by the same Mossad.
Yeah.
Again, Midas touch will not stop sucking the. Why do you make guys make me read this stuff? Will not stop sucking the EU Mert Zelensky. You have a real hard on, for no pun intended, for Midas touch. We can't help you. They've blocked us.
Yeah, they was rage. They was rage watching Midas touch.
Yeah,
I can't wait to the next
maybe
DDG
you
stream.
can take solace in the fact that Midas touch rage watches us. The Midas touch does not like us for some reason.
They blocked you.
Yeah. Nick is a Fed. Dan is a Fed. Candace is a Fed. Sarah. Why is Chris not a Fed?
I according to some Americans, I'm a Russian asset. According to Israelis, I'm an Iranian asset. Wow. According to NATO papers, I'm a Chinese asset. So I'm just a BRICS agent.
I always want to sing that song. Remember that song from Good Burger? I'm a dude. What's I'm a Fed. You're a Fed. Yeah.
Yeah. So I have a question. Maybe you guys can answer this for me. Because I made a tweet about this. Because I am legitimately confused. Like when right wingers call each other Feds. What do they mean by that? What do they talk? They all love the police.
Yeah, they love they're all rats.
They're all military people.
They all uphold the state.
It's all part of the game, Nick. It's all part of the game.
Because when we call each other Feds, like for example, we're communists.
You're an informant.
Yeah, when communists call each other Feds, for example, that's some serious shit.
Yeah,
because
people got killed for that shit.
So when right wingers call each other Feds, what do they mean? It seems like they just jacking left language without even knowing what they're talking about. Because they love the cops. Many of them are former military. They will brag about being former military. So how are you, someone who's former military, calling someone else a Fed? How is that even an insult? Point. So that anyway, I just wanted to bring it. It's always something that's weird to me when I see Nick Fuentes, not right wing people calling each other Feds. It's come across your dad was CIA.
What do you mean by that?
Yeah, what do you mean by that? I legitimately want to know.
Well, our people love you too, Abujan.
Abujan, we love you.
We will end on that really nice, heartwarming note. Hopefully, we have more energy on Sunday. Thanks a lot. Nick saved the show. I was falling asleep, and I'm glad he came on because I was so close to saying I liked Mom Donnie, and he brought me back down to earth. And now I don't like him again.
You got my message, right? For the link?
Yeah.
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 I was like, anytime. I love the channel. I love
And also
DDG
AOC.
fans.
But I never like AOC, but Nick always comes to remind me of how much I need to vehemently, actively hate her.
Yeah. Once again, Jerome's a great politician. I get it. I personally got to tell myself, like, it's not personal, but there's just a giant strategic difference that can't be reconciled.
Yeah.
Like the idea of the devil's bargain, the idea of going through a genocidal party and working with people like Jessica Tish, that strategy cannot be reconciled with my strategy. So you can be like, once again, Jerome probably a nice guy, you know what I mean? But we just got to be 100% honest. This politics is not a game. It's not high school. We got to call balls and stripes. So I get it when people are super hesitant to go after them, but I got to do my job.
Well, thank you again, Nick. Are you streaming today? Yes.
Yeah, the homie Rathbone joined me tonight.
Well, then, guys, go over to that stream.
Go over to that stream. Go check it out. Support Nick. Support everybody.
Thanks, Amanda.
Good work. We look forward to seeing you soon, Nick.
Yeah, make sure you guys follow Hotspot as well. I have a new Hotspot video that I just released regarding Sanai Takaichi creating a new CIA. We
Send
cover.
it.
Yeah, I sent it to you. We cover anti-imperialist news. Geopolitics from an anti-imperialist perspective. That's what I mean. So make sure you follow. I'm just trying to send that Hotspot to you guys. I just made this, and I'm gonna be live tonight. You guys know, just like DDG, I'm always in the live cooking. I'm always live cooking. So thank you for having me on. I'm gonna send you that now. Thank you guys.
Thank you. And you guys all take care. We will see you on Sunday.
Much love.